doing it anyway. Hey guys, we're back here with Jasmine Ray's YouTube channel. Okay. And today we're going to be talking about self-esteem. Oh, you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So, Abby said it. Welcome back to the channel. Good to see you. I have special guests with me. Some of my loves from Boston. And the conversation or the series is going to be entitled PrettyTalk. Today is going to be about self-esteem and self-image. And I just wanted to bring them here and to have them join so that they can give their perspectives. We have Dina.
Hey, sisters.
We have Jayla. Really? Okay.
I mean, you could zoom in.
We have Abby.
Hello.
You could zoom in on that first.
We have Ari. And we have the prophetess of the Most High, aka Tina. Okay, so that's everybody. We all range from 30s to about to be a teenager. So it's going to be different. Asper, you are not grown.
Oh, you heard that?
She thought I didn't hear it. She's not grown. So the first question is, what do you all think self-esteem is?
I'll start. I think self-esteem means to have self-respect.
Nice.
Thanks.
Okay, self-respect.
I think self-esteem is your self-image and how you feel about yourself.
I like that.
Yes, snaps. Dina?
I think self-esteem is what you think of yourself. Okay, sisters.
Jayla? I think self-esteem means you make decisions based on how you feel. Yeah.
Alright.
To me, self-esteem means knowing your self-worth, being confident in who you are, and accepting your flaws because no one is perfect.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And I would agree with all of them. You know, I think it's important for us as young women to embrace everything about ourselves, and it's hard because life just has a way of making you not feel confident about certain things. But when you surround yourself with positive people and positive peers, positive friends, I know the prophetess over here, she helps me a lot with taking care of myself and like being confident. And so I put her on the spot just because, yeah, you know, that's something for me. It's real, right? Like, we all have something that we're nervous about, but prophetess, I mean, she got mad confidence, okay? So let's not even
It
go
may
there.
appear like I have mad confidence.
She got mad confidence, but everybody got their stuff, but she got mad confidence, okay? Snaps for mad confidence.
Mad.
Ooh, I like this snapping thing. We gotta keep it going.
Yes. All right, so, you know, what does good self-esteem look like and what does negative self-esteem look like? Like, a couple people give me what negative self-esteem
Why are you raising your hand?
Yeah, we're not.
So funny. Negative self-esteem looks like self-harm or like thinking that you're not good enough, and positive self-esteem like shows that you're confident in yourself and like your identity.
Yes. Anybody
I
else?
agree with everything she just said. Literally, she took the words out of my mouth.
Okay. Anybody else?
I think good self-esteem is like you can embrace yourself for like who you are.
I think an example of negative self-esteem is always comparing yourself to the next person.
Yeah. And it's important not to do that. Like, do you guys find yourselves comparing sometimes?
Sure do.
Yeah. It's easy to do, right?
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
But
So-
I got out that habit.
Good. And I had to too, you know. I was always the thick girl, you know, so you always thought that was like a bad thing. But at the end of the day, it's like, no, I'm beautiful and I'm still working on that, you know. So it's a growing process, right? How would you encourage someone that you knew was like struggling with self-esteem? What would you say to them, or how would you help them to not look at themselves as a less than?
I think that is that's going to be a journey. I feel like something that I do intentionally with a lot of people that I come into contact with, not necessarily encouraging them by saying cliche things like, "Oh, you're amazing," or "You're great," which those things could be true for everybody that I encounter myself with, but pointing out the things that they don't see, the positive things about themselves that they don't see or that they don't appreciate, and you keep speaking those things, or you keep pulling out the positive, or you keep saying the positive things to them so that they can recognize or begin to recognize that there are things about them that other people do see that are great about them. And I think once that phase kind of starts, that then opens the door or opens the pathway for other positive or outlooks and perspectives to change so that they can start to believe in themselves or start to feel encouraged on their own.
So funny.
What is so
I
funny?
don't know what's funny, but I actually do agree with what you just said.
They're special.
Yes.
So basically what
they're
you're
just
saying is
special.
don't tell someone what they want to hear, but like honestly, like be honest with them so they can actually work on themselves.
I mean, if you can't just like if they're your friend and they feel less if they feel less from you or they feel less from somebody else, you can't just like confront them and be like, "Oh, you're fat, deal with it." You can't do that. Like that's just disrespectful. You gotta. I mean, you could do that, but you gotta like settle it. You gotta ease it out. You gotta like slow
Gotta
it
be
down.
subtle.
Exactly.
Obviously, I wasn't gonna say like be blunt, like oh you're mad ugly, like
You know what I mean? But what is mad ugly?
I'm just saying like in general, like someone could feel like oh they're really ugly. I'm not gonna go to them like oh you're mad, like you're really ugly, like you could be I don't know, like that was a bad example, but like you know what I
Well,
mean.
what she's saying is like ugly because beauty is in the eye of the hell. It's like if you think somebody's pretty, somebody else might think they're ugly. You know.
So for instance, if I was gonna say something positive about you, I would say even though you come off, I may present a very dismissive demeanor with you sometimes. There's something about your personality that's very persistent, and when you use that to your advantage in the future, a lot of doors will be open for you because you're super persistent, and your laugh, your giggle kind of lights up the room. I don't say that to you, but look at that, your energy,
That's true.
your energy's already changing.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't say that to you often.
You really
Why
don't.
is that though?
Because y'all get on my nerves.
And that's
Okay,
true.
well,
You know,
yeah,
sometimes.
but like aside from that, aside from like us and getting on your nerves, do you think that that's something that other people not necessarily struggle with? But why does it have to be under a specific circumstance for you to tell me something positive or something that you notice about my personality? You know, if that makes any sense.
It does. That's a good question. I think a lot of it would have to do with, do I see that this person is seeking attention right now? Because if so, I'm not necessarily going to give it to you in the form that you feel like you need to be given it. And that's just my tactic. I'm not going to give the attention in the way that, that could be detrimental to the person.
Mm-hmm.
But moments like this, where she sees that I do pay attention and I do appreciate all of her nuances, she's gonna take this moment and she's gonna look to it in 5-10 years from now and be like, yo, that was kind of dope. Or she's gonna use the seed that was just planted and say, okay, you know, Tina really does care, or this is what Tina was talking about 5-10 years ago. I get it now. I see it.
Right. And that's true, right? Because to your point, you know, I think a lot of times, even like if you think about parents or whatever, you know, you don't say things right out because you don't want to, you know, some people say, well, I don't want you to get the big head, I don't want you to whatever. But I think it's a fine balance between affirming and confirming who you are. Like, it's important that you all do hear how beautiful you are, how gifted and talented and capable you all are of doing things. But at the same time, if you think about it from other people's perspective, sometimes it's like you let it's like letting you go on your own journey while just hearing small nuggets that you'll remember in the back, like, no, they really were there for me. They pushed me, but I always knew they loved me, or different things like that. So I think that's really important to understand that it's not necessarily that people are intentionally not trying to tell you, but I think sometimes, especially for parents, they're just thinking in a way that we may not think, especially as their children. And the same thing for like mentors and people who are in your life. It's kind of like the parent that's watching the kid to walk, right? I'm right there, but I'm not holding your hand, right? It's like that's an abstract way to give that example. They're there, but they're not gonna tell you because they want you to go on your journey and find it, and that's why it's important for us to make sure that in certain moments, like Tina said, you go, girl, I love your persistent personality, or whatever. Kind of get that? Yeah.
Also,
Tina, what do you think?
I agree with what Tina was saying, but like sometimes you gotta remind people because like sometimes they may think that like you love them less. So like in those moments, you remind them.
All right, so you think about the concept of having good self-esteem, bad self-esteem, and different things that impact you are like your friends, even maybe sometimes your family, what you see in the media, what you go through at school. And so when you think about how people have opinions and how they can impact people, an example came up of like your hair. So what have you guys heard about hair and what is acceptable and what is not acceptable? Go ahead, Jen.
I mean, people been telling me that weave is just horse hair. So I'm just like, so you telling me that I'm walking around with hair that's been wagging around a horse's butt? And some people saying human hair, like, what if they wash their hair and they just get it cut and then just like, is that why it's itchy?
Good night.
Anyways.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so what's your point in saying that?
My point is, mind your business. If you don't wear it, then don't wear it, alright?
Okay. What about you, Abby? You was about to say something.
What was I gonna say? I was gonna say, like, what people thinks about, like, girls with natural hair or girls that wear weave. Because, I don't know how to say it, but, like, say if, like a boy was to say something about a girl wearing, like, they're not wearing weave, they'd be like, why you wear weave for? Your hair's like, why can't you wear your own hair? You're wearing like horse hair or whatever. And then when a girl does wear their natural hair out, like for a black girl to wear their natural hair out, they'd be like, oh, your hair's mad short, or like, you don't have no like good type of hair. Like, you know how like white people, like, Spanish or like have their like straight hair and everything. They'd be like, oh, your hair's short. Like, you don't have that, good hair.
Right. So there's this idea that having your hair straight or whatever is like more beautiful than wearing it naturally puffy or whatever.
Yeah, and also I think that's a big one, like black girls wearing their afros, cause like in school I was watching a video about how black girls always had their hair straightened because of where they live and like always around white people, so they wouldn't judge them or discriminate them.
Oh, so being made to feel like you have to have it a certain way so that people won't discriminate against you. That's what you're watching? Yeah. And that's true. People still deal with that. I had a mentor one time who worked in the courthouse, and, during the whole time she was looking to get in the courthouse, she had her hair straightened, like, all the time, because the people that she was around, like, there was just a certain, like, look that she was given. And then when she finally got in the office, she relaxed and she changed that, because she was like, that's really not how I am comfortably all the time. So if they can accept that, So even the point that she had to feel like she had to do it that way to get in, that's kind of sad, right?
Isn't that like self-esteem? It relates back to self-esteem, right?
Well, it does, but I think there's a lot of people that have good self-esteem, but they have to, do what they think is right in order to move up in their professions, in order to get a man. How many of y'all know people that do stuff like that? Like, I gotta look this way so that he'll look. But then that's not really who you are, so he doesn't get.
But why is that good thing? That's not good.
No, it's not good.
How is that good in self-esteem wise? Like, I feel like you can't say, oh yeah, someone may have good self-esteem, but they feel like they have to change their parents to be accepted into
Well,
society.
that's true. You know what? Let me say, not for like the man part, right? But like for work, for getting in.
Taking on someone else's opinion that
Right.
you have to be validated in order to look a certain way, in order to speak a certain way, in order to prosper.
But I feel like that's different though, because like if it's like you can't walk into like a business thing like looking all regular, like you feel like, isn't that like getting like dressy, like wearing a skirt, or like looking more professional? So like you could look more presentable.
So you're saying I could walk into an interview with a dress suit on, my natural hair puff, and not look presentable?
Some people would say yes. Some people would say yes to that. Because that's corporate America, unfortunately. And that's why you see a lot of people that either are not in certain businesses or they go to businesses that are more friendly with that. That's why you see so many like new things where it's like companies have policies, it's like a roundabout way to say like you can't do this or you can't wear this certain style. And there's some companies that aren't like that, So I think when it comes to that, I think people having to make a choice of like I have a family to provide for, so I'm gonna do what I need to do to get it done, and then I'm gonna do me, right? I don't think that's necessarily saying that a person doesn't have good self-esteem. I just think it's what they're doing in the moment to do what they need to do, and then like she did what she felt comfortable with later, and people came to accept that. But in that moment, like you want to put forth, unfortunately, the best perception that they feel is, right? Because that's who you're trying to get in with. I mean, I don't know if you would have anything to say with that, but I think that's kind of what happens, is that you're just trying to make sure that the people you're trying to be a part of, trying to convince that you are a good fit for them, you want them to see, what they would normally be like, oh, these look so nice. I don't know. I don't think that means you don't have good self-esteem. I think that means you're just doing what you gotta do. Now, it'd be different if you were overwhelmingly trying to maintain, going into debt, not eating, because you want to, feel a certain way. Like, I think that's the fine line. Like, if you're altering your life for other people, like, in a bunch of different ways, that's one thing. But yeah, sometimes when I go into an interview, I do put my hair in a bun, right? And then when you see me, or if I come to work, I might have my hair out. Like, that's just kind of what you have to do sometimes, because unfortunately, the world isn't there yet. Corporate America isn't there yet, where they don't mind what you look like, on the outside, as long as you ain't looking dusty, because that's a whole nother conversation.
I mean, it's like in the movies. It's like there's that one girl that's not popular and everything, and then when prom comes, she walks up and then everybody notices her. Like, that's basically how it is.
You're saying like she's kind of regular and then she like puts it on. That's a thought. Definitely. Anybody else got anything to say? No. Okay.
Here we go, back at it again. Is Jayla him?
Oh, I gotta find
Turn that off.
What kind of roof has no doors or windows?
I thought I was supposed to do an escape room.
No.
I think self-esteem.
Should we turn that off?
Okay,
So
so.
it doesn't drown out the
Oh, yeah, Ari.
Go, Dewey. Let's go. Hit the button. No, but on the side.
doing everything else.
This is definitely gonna be in the outtakes. Yeah.
But
So-
I got out that habit.
Good. And I had to too, beautiful, and I'm still working. What would you say to them? Like, to encourage them to not compare themselves to others, or to not, think of themselves less.
Pray.
You just wanted to say that.
That's a good point.
It is.
But I think maybe lose my train of thought.
Jayla, will you stop?
No, I don't think it's something. I'm trying to get back to your original question.
How would you?
Oh, so basically it's like don't tell someone.
And also, what does nuisance mean?
Oh, nuance.
Yeah. Now I gotta cut this whole part out.
Okay. All right. Okay. Anyway, Dina D. It's okay, because she probably made 2013. What is natural? Is natural Dina's puff and what's underneath this wrap? Because it ain't straight.
What is it?